Hi everyone, and welcome to Let's Win, where you'll receive God-filled encouragement that will help you live and lead with a victory mindset. Today I want to chat about two very important things, and when we get them right, I know this will change our lives. The first thing is identity. And now we can never speak enough about identity. It's such an important thing. And especially today, I want to touch on it regarding our children and how we raise our kids with strong identities. So one of my older kids have been invited to a birthday this weekend. And in preparation for this birthday, they have to send 3 interesting facts about themselves, as well as a photograph. Preferably a baby photo of themselves. Now I'm sure they're going to do some fun activity with this, but has this now got us talking this week? It has gained all our focus and all our attention, and every now and then this thing keeps coming up. Mommy, what is an interesting fact about me? What can I say? And as we keep speaking, I hear this almost a little bit of a tension coming from this child of mine. I haven't done anything exciting, or I don't have anything. I don't have a story. What is there that's interesting about me? I haven't done all these exciting things. What is there that I can say about me? And very soon I start realizing what is actually happening and how easy, even for me, it is to fall in the trap of, I have not done something exciting, therefore I am not exciting. Or I haven't done something interesting, therefore I am not interesting. Now, how often we say this, and we know this so well, that we are not defined by what we do or what we have done. As adults, we're not defined by our job titles. We are not what we do. But I saw this now coming up with my children, realizing that even there, in this very important identity forming stage of their lives, it's so important that we give input, that we lead, that we guide, that we make sure we're alert for these kind of things. Because you have, perhaps you haven't done, there will always be someone that does something more exciting than you. There will always be the person that has done the skydiving or done I have a 16-year-old friend that has her driver's pilot's license. So there will always be someone that has done something more exciting, but that is not who we are. That is not what dictates our identity. Our identity is a God-given gift. It is how He has shaped us, how He has crafted us, how He has put us together in our mother's womb, what He has woven into our being, what He has woven into our hearts and our minds. That is our identity, and it's a God-given identity. And He calls us by name. That is who we are, what He says we are. And it's so important that we just keep calling this out. The second thing I want to chat about is a mindset. And we will look at how identity and a mindset is related and how important it is to get these two together. But let's first look at what is a mindset. And a mindset is your habitual way of thinking that influences how you perceive, feel, and act in different situations. Basically, it's the way we always think about a specific thing or about things. And now this is why it's important, because our thoughts determine our actions, and our regular actions eventually becomes our character and becomes who we are. That's why it's such a big deal. That's why our mindset is a big deal. And an illustration of what a mindset can look like in the brain, it's your well-worn pathways in an overgrown, if you want to take an overgrown field or a jungle, it's the pathways that are traveled along regularly, constantly. It's the well-worn pathways. And in our brain, it's actually physically pathways. It's neural pathways along which thoughts travel consistently. It's always the path of least resistance. It's always the first thing that we act up, first thought, the first thing we think about. to do or to act upon in that certain way. It's the highway of our mind, of our thinking. And physically, it actually forms grooves in our mind. Obviously microscopical, but it's little highways that are constantly traveled. Now the Bible says, renew your mind. Do not be conformed to the patterns of the world, but renew your mind. How do we renew our minds? By choosing to think differently over and over and over again until it has become a new pathway, a new highway. You can go read all about this and go listen all about this. Dr. Caroline Leaf has an amazing study on all of this, and she's really an expert on this field. But by thinking over and over and over the same renewed thought, that's how we reshape this highway, this new path. Think of if you're traveling, if you bundu bashing in the forest or bundu bashing through a field. If there's no path, it's difficult to walk there, but the more you walk on that pathway, the easier it becomes for that new mindset to form. So how are these two related? How is our identity and our mindset connected? How are they related? My identity is reflected in my thinking. My identity is reflected, in other words, made manifest in my thinking, in my mindset, in my outlook, in how I see things, and in how I respond and react to situations around me, to daily life. So it starts with my identity, my belief system over myself, about issues, about things. And that determines my mindset on a certain thing. If I have an understanding of who I am in God, it will dictate my thinking. It will dictate my mindset. For example, if I believe, taking this situation with my child, if one of my kids believe I don't have anything interesting to share, I haven't done anything interesting, that child can start believing I am boring, I have nothing exciting, I'm an uninteresting person. And that becomes a mindset in their lives. They act through that. Every time they want to respond to something, it becomes part of their thinking. Or let's look at some other examples. I can't speak in public because I'm not good with words. I look stupid in front of people. I'm too much for people. I'll never be confident enough. These are beliefs about my identity that will dictate my mindset. What's even more interesting about this is that this flow happens both ways. Where we've said now our identity determines our mindset. Often the way we think, our mindset, can move back and become part of our identity. An example of this is if I believe bad things are always happening to me, it could eventually become part of my identity that I believe God doesn't love me. God doesn't see me. God hasn't called me. God doesn't know me. Bad things are always happening. Therefore, God is not favoring me. God doesn't look out for me. Today we say no more. No more. Renew your mind. Renew your thoughts. Renew your thinking. Do not be shaped by the patterns of this world, but be renewed in your thinking by constantly choosing to make a new pathway, choosing to let our Creator, the one who knit us together in our mother's womb, the one who exactly decided what to put in, what to weave into our beings, let Him dictate your identity and therefore dictate what your mindset will be, the way you think habitually, day in, day out. I want to go through a few examples, and I really want to encourage you to be aware of what your kids, aware of what your children are going through in a very important shaping and forming season of their lives, where you have to call out their identities. It's such a key important thing that we're not stabbing at what we see and what we hear, but that we go back to the root, to the identity root. Who are you? Let me go through some examples here. Let's look at an identity thing here. God made me a victor and designed me to flourish and overcome. This is a personal thing that I feel for myself. I believe God has made me a victor. He's made me to flourish. This is part of my identity. So when life happens, when challenges come, when bad situations come, my first thought is, okay, God has made me a victor. We can do this. God, you know we can do this. Show me how. I partner with Him. I believe we can get through this. Another example, my name means brave. He's called me by name. It's part of my identity. My name means brave. So when something comes, what do I say? Face it. Face it head on. Don't back off. Don't be afraid. Let's step up to the plate. Don't run. All right? This is an example. And I want to take an example from one of my children. Part of her name means peace regardless of situation. Peace regardless of circumstances. And with her, there can be a room filled with chaos and a room filled with anxiety. And she can walk into a room without needing to say a word, and you can feel peace. You sense this confident inner peace from her. And that is so many times often enough for me to ease my stress levels or to ease anxiety in the room. Now, the interesting thing is, this is so often the thing in her life that comes, that gets tested, that gets tried, especially in exam times or difficult seasons of the year. I can see how this God-given identity is put to the test. Now, oftentimes I fail and I react to what I'm seeing. I'm reacting to a response, or I'm reacting to just in anger, like, this could be better. Instead of calling out, hey, this isn't you. This isn't who God has called you to be. Your name means peace. And I know that's who you are. So I'm calling out that identity. So I want to encourage us as parents, be tuned in to who God has called your children to be and call that out. You'll notice how those are oftentimes the things that get tested the most. It's very interesting. One more example. As part of an identity, we can perhaps understand that God is my Father, God is my provider, God is my protector. That forms part of your identity. And because of this understanding, because this is the highway that has formed my thinking, my mindset, my first thoughts are, I am not alone. God is with me. He will shield me. Nothing will hurt me. I will not fear. So today I hope you can see how important it is to have a God-rooted identity and realize the impact it has on our thinking. And friends, how important it is to direct our thoughts according to God's identity, according to what God has spoken over you. Let your thoughts be directed. Let your mind be renewed. This is how we win. This is how we flourish. This is how we overcome in life. Friends, let's win today, together, and in the rest of this week. Bless you.